The opening to all that is and is awaiting my interest, with full awareness of the depths that lie before me. I plunge further into the sacred with every last drop of my being. My head starts to prepare for the initiation into the gateway of infinity possibilities. My thoughts start to sway to and from the dimensions, to the next, from the seen to the unseen, as our souls dance, play, and swirl above our heads. I get an intense cold sensation moving like a wave submerging my body, which must obey its rhythm. It begins at the bottom of my feet and steadily climbs up my ankles, then my inner thighs. She sighs in my ear. It feels like a butterfly has gently landed on my earlobe to tell me its secret. This is her way of giving me permission to emancipate my masculine spark, whose main purpose is to give life at the expense of its own. As this feeling of inevitably involuntarily possess my body, I convert my essence into liquid sunshine that flows into the gateway, leaving behind this human shell that imprisons my soul. Okay, now that's talking about the ejaculation, huh? As I swirl inside the dark matter, I am tossed wildly about, but find bliss and purpose in the chaos that bombards my new definition of reality. I finally let go and relinquish my ego to the power greater than myself. I succumb to her will completely. I am her servant to do as she wishes. She guides me like a leaf on a rushing river going downstream. I am helpless in her grasp, so I do not even try to fight or escape. I am defeated, but somehow joyous in my acceptance of being conquered. My journey has a purpose that I cannot comprehend, so I continue to possess without any preconceived notion of where I will finally arrive. Suddenly, I am in a tunnel with a blinding white light at the end. That Milky Way, that nectar. Okay, let me quit. The light warms me and comforts me in my liquid blanket of ecstasy. As I feel the intrigue and power of a presence that demands my complete allegiance and respect. I am struck by the brilliance and overwhelmed by the entity who I am about to come face to face with. I can see a figure of golden throne on the top of a hill, and lush green grass, and the scent of jasmine and honey in the air. The figure is surrounded by light, so I can only see the silhouette, which seems to be 13 feet tall in the sitting position. The only thing I can make out is the length and regality of her neck. Suddenly, I am instantly delivered at her feet in a fetal position. I dare not gaze into her eyes, as I fear I will perish from the intensity of her light and beauty. I try to clear my mind, which have been blinded by focusing on other objects around the temple. I see blue, green, purple, teal, indigo, periwinkle, and turquoise. I see gold and lapis lazuli that sparkle like a reflection off of a full moon. Without warning, she grabs me by one hand and throws me up in the air like a rag doll. I am no longer the 6 foot 2 inches tall and 215-pound man I used to be in the physical realm. I have somehow transformed into a being that is irrelevant in the presence of a goddess. Maybe I am of the same stature but bearing witness to my insignificance in the unseen realm, I am petrified and honored all at the same time. She finally puts me down after playing with me for somewhat seems like an eternity. I finally understood how weak I really am and how powerful she is. I am humbled in my humiliation. For some reason, I feel empowered. She tells me that she has sent me to the physical dimension to pave the way for her return. She informs me that I have served her for thousands of years and have never failed. She tells me that although I am not worthy to sit with her on her throne, I have earned her favor in my courage and commitment to serve her in eternity. Because of this, I shall always be favored. She explains, ooh, that got chills down my spine. Okay, goddamn, boy, good Lord, this is what I'm talking about. See, this a joker know. See, then when you know, this when you know, and you goddamn know. Y'all, keep playing. Keep playing. This is when you know the truth. This is when you know the truth. She explains that she represents the feminine principle of higher consciousness found in an activation of one's melanin produced by the first eye or pineal gland. She reveals to me that there has been a 130,000 year war to suppress her power. She further explains that when the world was dominated and embraced by her spirit and consciousness, the black man was able to achieve the greatest feat that man has ever accomplished in the history of the world. She told me that the wonders and the mysteries of the world can only be deciphered when one internalizes her vibration. Until then, these great wonders will never be fully known or understood. It was through her worship that black people ruled the world and walked hand in hand as kings and queens. She stated that the rise of the Caucasian race coming out of the caves of Europe signified her downfall. These recessive people could not decipher or embrace her higher consciousness because of their lack of melanin, which was needed to open the door to her temple in the spiritual realm. Oh boy, I could go in on that one, because they could not communicate with her. They understood that only way they could compete with the African gods and goddesses was to change the playing field in their favor. That meant that these people must get the masses to embrace her opposite consciousness, which was the inferior masculine principle. The world is now dominated by this white man, and he has infected the globe by his lower consciousness, otherwise known as the masculine principle. It says, now the world believes that strength and power lies in the person giving the punch and not in the ability of the one who can withstand it. She tells me that my purpose is to internalize her consciousness and walk the path of the feminine principle. She says, if you walk the path with me, they will emulate the principle. She states that the black man holds the key to her power, for all black women reflect her energy and spirit. It says, but through sexism, slavery, and the domination of the masculine principle, the black woman has been duped into embracing her masculine principle as a means of defining herself, her purpose, and her environment. It is my purpose to prepare a place for the coming of the African goddess Snippet, which is the epiphany of the resurrection of the black man and woman. It says, she further states that when she decides to return to the physical dimension, she will lose all memory of who she is in the unseen or spiritual world. She tells me that it will be up to me to remind her. She tells me that it is not my mission to force her to attempt to accept her true identity. She says, I am sending you to prepare a place for my queendom in the physical realm. It will be her duty to find her way back. Woo! Brother, good God, that's a chill down my goddamn spine. Oh, Lord. Y'all gonna pick me up off the floor. Y'all gonna have to airdrop and pick me up off the floor. Good God. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, bless him. Oh, Lord, bless him. All she wants to do is to have a place ready for her return. If she so happens to get sidetracked or forget who she is, she will send me back yet again in another life until she truly recognizes the goddess she is. She sends me because I won't let her fail. All she has to do is look into my eyes and she will remember her purpose. She tells me, oh, that's some chills. She tells me that she will place her truth in my eyes for safekeeping. I will hold the key to remembrance, just as the reflection of the sun on the waters radiates back into the skies. What they call, Bajiba's walking on water this day and time. It said this energy immediately reflects off of the surface waters, but always penetrates further into the depths of the water's soul, unlocking the life force of creation that's not readily seen. She says it is in the interest of both of us that I succeed in my mission. She informs me that she is tired of reincarnating because she never recognized herself as a goddess. She tells me that if she has to come back, then I will have to come back as well. She tells me, do not fail me, for my patience is growing weak. I ask her how I would know it is her. She tells me, I have been called many names over many dimensions throughout eternity. You will call me Neckbeck. You will see me when you make yourself blind. You will feel me when you are alone. And I will speak to you when you can no longer hear. I responded by saying that I didn't understand. So she further states to me, look in my eyes and it will be revealed, for the eyes possess the throne where I reside. Oh, that was beautiful. Instantaneously, I am dismissed. She pushes me off to return to the physical dimension. I try to fight the concept of returning to the physical world. I want to stay here with her, but I dare not go against her commands. So I wallow in the in-between space of the seen and unseen worlds. I moan but cannot hear my own pleas. I travel on the edge of both worlds like a high wire performer at the circus, walking 10,000 feet above the ground. I feel pity for myself, not because of my mission, but because I must return to my human shell in the material world. I fight, I kick, I scream. It is time. It is inevitable. I dejectedly accept my fate. I finally succumb and return to this world with all my energy spent. I find my limp body on top of the woman who opens her gateway so that my destiny can be revealed. For this, I am eternally grateful. Ooh, y'all gonna have to join my Patreon. I'll put the link below. Y'all want to get in on this book right here. Peace, YouTube. That was a little snippet of what we're reading October the 21st in our adult Tantra tier. Tantra adult tarot, that tier, and it says Love, Money, and Tantra. And I'm pulling out all the books that I have. So we are doing a brief snippet for you YouTubers that want to join my Patreon account. I believe that tier is only like $10 or $15 a month. So I will see y'all over there on Patreon. All right, peace.